So let's just do that. Okay, and then monitor capture. Alright, so let's start, okay? Um, this card is actually a card I really want to use in Priest. It makes Harrison so good, right? Like, okay, so Blingtron, it says, yeah. It makes Harrison so good. And it also makes Ooze a reasonable choice. Like, usually Ooze in Harrison is a dead card against Druid, right? But if you use Blingtron, it's never a dead card. So this is a card that I really want to use. Dr. Broom is not really a card I want to use. The Boom Boss, by the way, when they explode, they deal 1-4 damage to a random creature, yeah? And, I don't really like it. I just don't like it. I don't know. It might be really good in a Druid deck with Savage Roar, right? But other than that, I don't like it. Yeah. That's just the first impression. Engineer, I don't like this as well because it's just too high cost. It just costs too much. If it was like a 7 mana and it was like a lower cost, it might be better because you can cast something else with this. So, not the best legendary. I'd say it's only like, I really like a 2 out of 10. Yeah, it's pretty low. I rate this like a 8 out of 10, to be honest. Like, this is, I think this will be pretty good. The head is not that good as well. Was you need to control at least 3 mechs, right? So it's this plus 2 more, and that's quite hard. But if you do, you get at least 20 damage in the face, right? This is 20 damage, right? Oh no, 16 damage. Yeah, 16 damage. So I'm not really sure how good this is, but then its stats are good enough by itself that it might be worth putting in mech deck anyways. I think everybody who's making a mech deck will put this card as soon as they get it automatically. But I wonder if this, I mean, this is crazy against Priest, right? I mean, a 5 mana Yeti is pretty damn good already, so but yeah, it has to be at the start of your turn, so that's the requirement. I'm not really sure if this is good, but this is like, oh, actually this is crazy against Priest as well. Man, why is it always 4 attack? Blizzard, what you doing to my class? No, they're all 4. Sneasel Shredder is the 5th legendary, I guess. This could be pretty good. Although the problem with this card is that it doesn't do anything the turn you summon it, right? Rag does something when you summon it, Alexstrasza does something when you summon it. So that is the danger of this card. But then it could be good. I mean, if we look at so what legendaries can it pull out? I mean, these are pretty sucky, okay? So there are 8 sucky cards already that we can see. Another 8 that are sucky. I guess Lyra is reasonable, but this is sucky as well, right? I mean, would you pay 5/7 Death Rattle 5/5? I wouldn't. I would never do that. But then these start to be very good, right? This is good. This is reasonable. Hogger is reasonable. Sylvanas is crazy. Black Knight is bad. So it's like any dragon is good, I guess. KT is obviously crazy because you get the Sneeds back. So I'm not really sure. Like I'm not sure what to think of this right now. It looks good on paper, but playing it might be not that good. Yeah, if it was a 7/5, it would be different. If it's 7/5, it would be crazy. But a 5/7 means that you can't really kill it easy. So yeah. So overall, the legendaries, the one that I'm most excited is Blingtron. Yeah. The one I would probably use is Mimiron, not the head. The head and Blingtron are the ones that I might be using. All right. So moving along, Bouncing Blade is crazy. I think this is a crazy card. All right. If your opponent has only 1 minion, it's an execute. I mean, it's an assassinate. It just kills it, right? So so basically a deadly shot. So it could be a deadly shot if you have like Armsmith or even Frothing. This is crazy. It's just overall such a good card, I think, because if in Control Warrior, usually it's either you have minions or they have minions. It's usually not 2 ways, right? So I would think that I would just put 2 automatically. It's so good with Acolyte as well. Jeez. Like the synergy with the warrior deck. Very well made card. Whoever made this card should get a raise. Very nice. Clockwork Giant, I kind of expected this somewhat like that to like counter Handlock. And this, it's good. It's good. But it might be hard to put in a deck specifically. Because right now the Hearthstone tournament community is more of you know, you pick 4 decks, you have a ban or you don't have a ban, whatever, and there's no such thing as sideboarding. If in the future there's sideboarding, then this becomes crazy, right? So interesting. Would you pick this in Arena? Probably not, because it's an epic. There are probably better cards to pick. So not really sure about this one arena, but even in construct, it's kind of weird. If you play like a mill druid or a mill rogue and you play this, then it's still pretty redundant because like a mill deck requires you to play minions as you go along as well. So I'm not really sure if this is gonna work, even in the mill deck. We'll see. This one is a really crazy card. All right, like Meteos beat me with this so much. He had like 3 minutes and he played this and I lost. Right. Of course, if you are of course you don't really want taunt. Taunt is kind of like a whiff. But Wind Fury and Divine Shield is just crazy. Like it just gives so much board presence. So I would expect this in Zoo. I would expect this in Druid, and you know, stuff that plays a lot of cards. I don't think this is good in Priest though, because usually once again Priest is usually you have minions or they have minions. So this is like a win more card, and yeah, I don't really think this is that good in Priest. It just doesn't have enough stats, right? But yeah, I think this is a very good Zoo card. So onwards with the oh man, they actually. One second here. Oh, they actually didn't organize this pretty well, but there are 3 pilot things, right? There are 3 pilot things. There's a 4 mana that summons a 2. This one is a 6 mana that summons a 4, and the last one is the one that's up there. It's a 8 mana that summons a legendary. Yeah. I think the 6 mana one is very playable, because a 4 cost minions are really good. Okay, let me just look at this right now. Yeah? Like 4 mana minions are really good. They usually have a lot of health and a lot of stats, right? 5-4, crazy. 4-5, 2-5, 1-7, right? So look at the stats on these things. Even this is good. 3-3, not that bad. So like if you go over these cards, right? They have a lot. Like even this is good. 4 health. 4 health is crazy. Like the jump from 3 to 4 is crazy. Obviously you don't want this. Jesus Christ, you do not want a 1 health creature. But yeah, it's really good. Like, and it has 4 up by itself, so I think this is playable. I don't think the other one's playable though. I think the 4 mana summon at 2 cost is not playable. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, next one we have we combo Bubulator, or however he says. I think this card is crazy. This is my favorite card. This card is the best card. I would be putting 2 in every deck. It's dumb. Okay, like people don't like. I'm trying to get you to realize how good this card is. Okay. So if you have nothing to play a turn 2, you play this 3-2, fine, whatever, it's reasonable, right? And so imagine if you're a druid, okay? You play a Yeti, your opponent plays another Yeti, okay? You kill the Yeti with your Yeti, hero power, and then use this on the Yeti, and you get a fresh 4 mana creature. That's crazy. That's dumb. All right, that's like so your Yeti turns into a Dark Iron Dwarf. Fine, you healed it for 3, right? And you still put a 3-2 on the board. Crazy. Okay, and that's just a 4 mana. That's just one of the examples, right? What if you do on a 6, right? 4 and 6s are the most crazy cards, right? Look at these 6 cards. Look at all these cards. Look at that. 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 Don't look at the girl, but look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. One of the best cards. Look at these. Holy Jesus Christ. Favorite card. Definitely, okay? Like, hands down. Bomb Lobber. You know, it's funny because let me show you this. If I go to Facebook right now, one second, we're going to Facebook. Alright. Alright. Let's see. I kind of made this a card before. Look at that. See? Well, to people who didn't see my monk set yet, focus means that if you use all your mana that turn with this card, you actually do make this happen. Yeah. So they actually kind of happened. So that's kind of cool. So I mean, the thing is, like, if you're thinking about how to destroy Miracle, for example, right? You have to make something like that. You have to say deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. That has to be the exact wording, right? Mine's dealt the fate. Mine's was character because I was like, okay, I guess it should do the face because otherwise it's too strong, right? But this is definitely the Miracle Killer. I'm not really sure if it's good against not Miracle because usually minions are either 3 health or 5 health. Like 4 is like the number, which is like the awkward part, right? Even for a card by a minion itself or an effect. Like 4 is just awkward. That's why Shadow Ball is not played. Like if 4 was really good, then Shadow Ball would be like in every single handlock deck. But it's not. So that's why it's weird. If Azure gets popular again, then this will be played like almost in every single deck. But other than that, I don't see this being super popular. No, I don't see this to be super popular. This card sucks. Oh my god, this card. When I saw this, I was like, oh, it's interesting, and then I said, oh, it sucks. Because the thing is like, why wouldn't you play like a Gnomish for 1 more mana and not have drawback? I mean, it's a chicken is a 1 mana for 1/1, right? From our knowledge, because of the of Gelbin's chicken gun, yeah. So if it's a 1 mana 1/1, then even in Miracle Road, this sucks, right? You do not want your Edwin to turn into a chicken. There's no way. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're hungry and you want some chicken wings, but jeez, usually when you play Hearthstone, you ate already. So this is a really bad card. I don't know how this is gonna be good. Maybe a chicken is something crazy, but as it stands, if chicken is a 1 mana for 1/1, I don't like this card at all. And that's, Christ, it's 2 health. How does it have 2 health? If it's a 3/3, I won't play it. Right? It should be a 3/4, and then I'll consider it. Right? Why is it a 3/2? That's the weirdest thing ever. Maybe it puts it in the field. Maybe it summons the chicken into the field, but I don't know. Goblin Blast Mage, one of the best cards in that's released. Just crazy. Like, it gives you a free Super Arcane Missiles, and it's a 5/4. So that's a lot of stats. That's like a panda. That's like a panda stat. So this is really good. I'm gonna expect this in a lot of mech decks, especially with the flamethrower as well. Like, Mage has flamethrower now, right? Where's flamethrower? Oh, here, flame cannon. Oh yeah, this one. This card is pretty good too. So we might see Temple Mage coming up, getting a comeback. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. What else do we have? Oh wait, Matted Bomber. This made me laugh. It's kind of more like it's more of a funny card. It's more of an arena card, I guess. I can't imagine this being played in Constructed. I really can't. I mean, sure, it can be like a free Avenging Wrath, but I really can't see a way that I will be playing this. Like, even against Zoo, if you play this, then what, you know? I don't know. Not the biggest fan of this card, but in arena might be pretty funny. Because its stats are pretty good. Oh, Unstable Kodo, one of my favorite cards. I mean, I love RNG effects, right? Obviously. Thoughtstep is my favorite card, right? And I think Unstable Kodo is one of the best cards as well. Because the thing is, like, okay, you look at this card and you go, okay, so if it gets something that's 3 mana or more, you win, right? And how many there's a lot of cards that are more than 3 mana. Alright? That's a lot of minions. What a lot of people don't recognize is if it's a 2 mana minion, then you also is fine. Right? If you Unstable Portal a what's a 2 mana? Just give me something random. Give me something like an Argent Protector. Okay, whatever. It's still a 2 mana 2/2, right? So that's fine. It's reasonable. If it gets a 1 mana creature, it's actually fine too, because 1 mana creatures are made in such a way that they cost a card, so they can't be that bad, right? So even if you get an Art Squire, it's totally fine, I think. So that's the worst case scenario, right? The worst case scenario is like you get something very bad, but then think about like the crazy stuff. What if you get like a Cairn? Turn 4 Cairn. That's an Innervate Cairn. What if you get something like a giant? That's crazy. What if you get Jaraxxus? That's crazy. That's turn 7 Jaraxxus and a mage. Alright? Two and unstable portals in my mage deck as soon as it comes out. Okay. Here we have a priest card. That's pretty interesting because it's a 5/9, which is like dumb. So you have to compare this priest card to like 6, which is the one we have already. Is this one? This is way more playable than this card because it's 5. 6 is kind of like the turn where you want to put like Sylvanas, you know, you want to put like Cairn and stuff like that. So in a mech deck, I can see this working out really well. And it's 4. 4 is the magic number too, right? Like 4 is always the magic number. So I might Newberry, thank you so much for subscribing. So yeah, I actually think that this might be played in a mech priest deck, yeah, like a Death Rattle mech priest deck with Undertakers, because all the mechs have Death Rattle anyways. So yeah, this is a good card. You have to look out for this. Annoyotron. At first I was like, okay, it's pretty bad because you're only gaining 1 more health compared to Iron Squire and you're paying 1 more mana. But then it's kind of like 2 taunts. Might be good, might be bad. I'm leaning towards it to be a bad side still, because it's very easy to clear, as a lot of classes have like 1 damage from like hero powers. and the ones that don't can deal with this really easily with like what like for example like Shaman can deal with this really easily with healing totems and earth shocks. Priests have like Cabal Shadow Priest. The Cabal Shadow Priest is gonna be good as soon as the set comes out, let me tell you. But yeah, I mean, not a big fan of this card. We're gonna skip this for now. This is the Delta Boom. Clockwork Gnome. So Spare Part is basically the one I skipped, right? So everything that has 1 mana, that is kind of like does something like kind of terminal, is a Spare Part. And this is kind of reasonable. Like, people need to recognize that this is not as good as Leper Gnome in a Rush deck, because Leper Gnome does do the 2 damage immediately. This one is like, imagine it's like a 2 mana creature, right? Because the Spare Part does cost 1 mana. It might see play in Pyromancer Priest, because this card is a spell. But otherwise, this might be a filler for mech decks, because you do need a 1-drop. So, I'm indifferent about this card. This card I think sucks though. It says has 2 attack while you have a mech. Sure, it's a 1 mana 3/2, but 1 mana cards already have an effect usually. So, not really a big fan of this. And with 2 health, it does trade with other 1-drops. And it's not as crazy as like an Undertaker, or like a Undertaker even. Like, yeah, so not a big fan of this card. Wow. Now this card makes me really want to play a mage deck. All right, you play a Explosive Sheep. You have you play a mage. You ping your own sheep. 4 mana. 4 mana Consecrate. 4 mana Consecrate. Like, that's like the first thing that came to mind. Yeah. So I was like, okay, so really, Temple Mage could make a comeback with this card. With other cards, I don't know if it's that good. Warrior might use this. I mean, this card is obviously designed to be anti-Zoo, right? So maybe Priest would use this. So yeah, basically. But this card is like screaming mage. It's screaming mage, right? Anyways. Flame Cannon, we said that already. It's basically pretty good against Miracle. Like, mage doesn't really have a... Well, it does, like the Freeze Mage, but the Temple Rage doesn't have anything to do with Miracle. It's either burn or bust, right? So this might even make like the Duplicate Mage really good. I'm not really sure. I'm okay with this. It's not crazy, but I'm okay with this. It's like a Shadow Ball for 2, right? So pretty good. This card might be pretty crazy, because it might give you extra mana, especially it lives, right? Definitely something you need to consider if you're playing a mech deck. If you draw it late game, it's not that good, but overall it's pretty strong. So I like this. Oh, this card is crazy. I had this play against me, and I was like, yeah, whatever, 1/2, and it started gaining attack at both turns, right? So it's like a mini Gruul. It doesn't just gain attack on your own turn; it gains attack for both turns. So when it comes back to your turn, it'll be a 3/2, and it can grow bigger. So it's a 2 mana 3/2 in the sense that if it lives 1 more turn, then it can go pretty crazy. Definitely quite good in Arena, I'd say. In Constructed, I don't know, because it's very easy to remove. So, I'm not really sure about this one. Not really sure. I mean, you look at the sheep, and you look at this, and you go like, maybe the sheep is better, yeah. I'm just looking if there's any, like, if there's a 2-drop, what would I play? And I would still probably play in a mech deck. We can't really see all the cards right now, but, maybe. There are a lot of class cards that are 2 mana, that's good, so... Not really sure about this one yet. Just yet. Like, Skittles arguably is still better than this. Because you do compare this to Skittles, right? Every minion has to compare Skittles. Skittles is one of the best drops right now. Not really sure. This one, we know that it's summonable via the Blingtron, the one that equips a weapon for both players. But for this one, I'm not really sure if it's going to be a warrior-only card, because it seems like a warrior-only card. And it's only a chance to attack the raw enemy, so it will never attack your own minions, like a misdirection. Not sure how I feel about this. I mean, the cost is actually obviously crazy, but... I mean, if you want to remove a minion, which you usually do, and you attack the face instead, then that's just stupid. So, and you compare to Despite, where you just pay 1 more mana, and it does have an extra effect. So if this is a warrior-only card, then it's not playable, I think. If this is a neutral card, oh man, that might be pretty crazy. Cause I don't know if it doesn't have the thing, right? I mean, if you look at Despite, Wait, what the hell? Wait, I can't pick warrior? Oh, because of 6 shops. Like, if you look at this, right? It doesn't have that warrior thing icon, right? Does this mean it's warrior? No, this is Naxxramas, right? So this might be a warrior weapon. Like, you're not really sure. Like, this doesn't tell you that it's immediately a warrior weapon, but I'm pretty sure, assuming it is. I'm assuming it is. Anyways, we never know. Pilot Shredders. This is one of the cards that I said is unplayable. Even at 4 mana, because like, you summon a 2 cost minion, right? So for example, you get a Fairy Dragon, and that's really positive. But even the Fairy Dragon is not that good, right? Because if you compare this to a Yeti, you actually lose the 4 attack. And the 4 attack is really important. So I'm not really sure if this is good. It may be good in Death Rattle decks that need a 4 drop. So for example, if a Zoo. Do you have a Zoo deck right now? Yeah. Oh, I don't have a Zoo deck. Oh, I deleted my Zoo deck. God damn it. But Zoos usually run Dark Iron Dwarfs right now, right? I can see them running this instead. But it's not a good replacement for Yeti. I think Yeti Druids, for example, they will substitute this for Yeti. So yeah. This is spare part. Oh my god, this priest card. We've been waiting for this for a long time. However, I was like, oh my god, this card is crazy. But then I saw this turn. It's only this turn, yeah. So might have to combo this with something else. You know, obviously. The way you want to use it is you want to Shrinkmeister something and trade with something. So for example, if you have a girl and your opponent has a Leopard Gnome, you Shrinkmeister it and your girl is still at full health. You know, fine. Yeah, that's the best use of it. Most practical, I guess. The other way of using it is obviously you Shrinkmeister Ysera and you Cabal Shadow Priest. That's why I said Cabal Shadow Priest is very playable in the new set, yeah, because of this card. Are you kidding me? Cabal Shadow Priest and Ysera, you gotta sign me up for that. So this is usually used with Shadow Madness, use Cabal Shadow Priest. You can use it on Pain as well to kill a Yeti, to kill a Druid of the Claw. I'm not really sure if this means that I'm going to put 2 Pains in my Priest deck, because it's still very hard to get this and the Pain. But certainly something I would, try out. So yeah, I mean, the thing is that, yeah, you have to combo this card with something else. Alright, it's this turn only. Spider Tank is a neutral card. It's a vanilla 3/4, and yeah, that's good. It's fine, perfectly fine. Pretty good in the mech deck, I guess, too. And people who want Dark Cultist in their deck can have a Dark Cultist as well now. So there you go. This card is crazy though. This card is crazy. Very good card in the mech deck. Oh my god, you gain so much stuff. You have a 4/4, and you get a spare part. It's crazy. All right, this card is crazy. I think it's you have to consider this when you're making a mech deck very, very hardly. It's crazy. It's like you compare this card to the mage card, the I have many secrets, yeah. Like this is what you compare to, right? And instead of you needing the requirement having to have a secret in your hand, the requirement is you having a mech. And if you're playing a mech deck already, you should have like a lot of 1-drops and 2-drops, right? And why this card is crazy is because it gives, not only does it not cost you a card, because the secret costs you a card, right? This gives you a card. Although the card might be a bit, not that good, but it's still like, it's a card, okay? It's a card. So, very good card. I like this card a lot. This is a pretty specific card, and I think it's actually pretty crazy. The spell damage is not that reasonable. Like, it's not that usable, I think. Because Priest, in a way, is like not made of spells. Right? Right? Smite, Mind Blast, Nova, Fire. That's it. We only have 4 spells that benefit from spell damage. So the way to use the spell damage is like Thought Steal shenanigans. Like if you Thought Steal Consecrate, then good for you. The main reason you want to play this is the +2/+4. It's crazy. So I'm imagining a situation where I put Dark Cultist and my opponent plays a Yeti, and I play this. I kill the Yeti, and my Dark Cultist is still at full health. 4. The 4 is really, really good, okay? Let me tell you. The 4 is really, 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 really good. This set might make 4 so that it's not that good anymore because of deal 4 damage with the Bomb Lobber that deals 4 damage. But no spells in the game deals 4 damage, right? As we know. It's Kill Command doesn't, what else do we have? Fireball obviously doesn't deal 4 damage, right? AoEs don't deal 4 damage. Hellfire is 3. we have lightning bolts, rock biters, we have fire war axes. That's why 4 is just so crazy, and that's why Death Sprite is such a crazy weapon. Like, do you understand where I'm building to this? So that's why this is such a crazy card. It's Jesus, you know? Insane. I don't know if I would play 2 though, because it is a deck card. The requirement is you do need a minion. So then, yeah, this might be a bit awkward to play. But, just looking at it, card I want to play. At least one. At least one. And of course, that is the gameplay. New card back. This might be a new card back. Angry Chicken is not awful. And that's really my review of the new cards. So yeah, once again, let me just review. My favorite cards on this set are this card, Shrinkmeister, yeah? Shrinkmeister. Very, very crazy with the combos we can do. We have the Blingtron, alright, makes Ooze and Harrison playable in decks again. And of course, my favorite card, the Recombo. The Recombo. The combos! Oh my god, this is so good. That's why it's an epic, by the way. Okay? Oh my god, favorite card. Alright, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed the review, and let's do an arena.